I'm gon' flock, I'm gon' stack. Are you with that? Won't forget that I saw in my past. Are you with that? Like I'm with that. Hope you
From 41 Seaver Way, welcome to the home of the New York Mets. This is Citi Field. Sunday baseball on the show. It's the St. Louis Cardinals going up against the New York Mets. Singy, let's talk about the man on the mound. He has been lights out lately.
You're not kidding, Boog. I mean, look at these stats. He's got hitters guessing on every pitch. I'm excited to see if he can maintain his dominance in this one.
All right, we'll be back to get this one started after this. Just about ready to go. And today's starting pitcher, Sean Manaea. Chris, how about a scouting report?
Yeah, very respectable numbers last year. A sub-350 ERA. And, you know, guys like that, you may think, well, they're elite pitchers that are pitching sub-2s. They're dominating. But when you can have that kind of consistency, you know you have a chance to win a ball game every time he takes the mound. So, you know, good season last year. Opportunity for him to go out there and repeat it this year, possibly even improve. But I tell you what, if this guy's pitching for me and I'm playing in the outfield, I'm loving every minute of it.
Lars Nootbaar, the leadoff batter, as he swings through it for strike one. That one down the line, loves it on the dive, the throw, and that's a great play for the out.
Third basemen have to be so quick with their first step reactions, hot shots like that. That's why they call it the hot corner. That's a perfect example, though. There's no way he gloves that one if he's not dialed in, anticipating something coming his way, staying on his toes every pitch. Really nice job to get back up, set himself, and make a strong throw across the diamond.
Digging in, Brendan Donovan. One down, base is empty. Foul ball there. Next pitch is downstairs.
2 balls.
One out, strike. Base is empty. Spoils that one, and it remains 2-2. The wind of the pitch. Swing and a pop-up. Alonso makes the grab. 2 down. Now we take a check of the St. Louis Cardinals lineup. Hoping for a good showing in this one from their cleanup hitter, Nolan Gorman.
And Boog, they're really going to be looking for more power out of his bat moving forward. For a guy hitting in the middle of the order, 2 home runs over the last month just isn't enough production. Now, that said, they certainly have confidence in him. They know he can get his power stroke back. So we'll see if he shows any signs of turning it around here today.
Fought off foul. And that's in there at the knees.
0-2.
And a foul ball, he stays alive. There's a high chopper. St. Louis goes down in order. Redbirds down quietly. Now the Mets offense will go to work for the first time. No score. It's Major League Baseball, and it's on the show. Back here with my pal Singy. And on the hill, Erick Fedde.
Well, the key for him usually centers around his ability to command all 4 of his pitches. I mean, he can get by with 3 if one isn't working, but it becomes a little tougher to keep hitters guessing, especially when you start to get through the 2nd and 3rd time through the order. So we'll see how he incorporates all of his stuff into this one.
Here's Francisco Lindor. Well, in their win last game, this guy came up with 2 home runs, obviously trying to keep the roll going here in this one. Bounce to the right. Contreras gets it to first. 1 up, 1 down. Let's take a peek at the Mets lineup here. Someone who makes things happen for them, in part with his legs. Luis Angel Acuna.
Big-time speed here, Boog. A guy with just terrific wheels and an absolute nightmare for opposing pitchers when he's on base. I mean, players like this who have elite speed, it's like disruptive technology on the base paths. Man, can't wait to watch him run.
That one ripped. That's back there. Gone. Straight into the visitors' bullpen. He'll circle the bases. He's up to 3 home runs in the series. And they grab the lead. It's 1-0. That's his 3rd straight game with a homer, Singy.
This dude is on fire, Boog. These kinds of streaks just don't come around too often. Love to see a hitter aggressive on the first pitch of an at-bat. You watch him from the on-deck circle, so when you step in the box, you're ready to pull the trigger wherever it's at. Really good job by the hitter. Total conviction on that swing.
1 down. Here's Pete Alonso. Homered in the ball game yesterday afternoon. There's a strike. Fedde with some less than fantastic work on the hill lately.
Even the best pitchers of all time have had stretches where nothing was working for him on the mound. Maybe he needs to have his turn in the rotation skipped or something. Get his mind right to get back on track.
Popped up. And Arenado makes the catch. And there's 2 down.
Batting fourth, the left fielder, Brandon Nimmo.
2 down, bases empty. Brandon Nimmo up now for the Mets. Nimmo matched a couple of homers in his last game. Up the middle, and that chance handled. And he beats it. He's safe.
That is it. The third baseman.
And his hitting streak continues. There have been almost no bad days for him in the past month.
This guy's running hot, Boog, and people around the league are paying serious attention to this streak now, especially the pitchers that are trying to slow him down.
So 2 down. Here's the third baseman, Mark Vientos. And that one upstairs, ball 1.
1 ball, no strikes.
Two outs. That one is absolutely belted. Going back on this one. Makes the catch on the edge of the track. 1 scores in the inning, coming on this solo home run. It's an early 1-0 lead. Major League Baseball is on the show. And welcome back to the ballpark. Here's Nolan Gorman. Gorman in his 3rd season, 24 years old, and he's driven in double-digit runs over his last 10 games. That one fouled off. Gorman matched a homer in his last game. And he's down 0-2 as he swings through it. Time to look at our umpiring crew in this one. Kenny Jansen behind the plate.
Yeah, and expect a little inconsistency on the corners. He doesn't make any wild calls, but he does give and take there a little bit. So he doesn't have the easiest strike zone to figure out, especially as the game goes on when you're expecting it to become more consistent.
Fouls it back with 2 strikes. Chris, do players ever change their approach in meaningful ways based on who's umpiring, or is it good to just be aware of tendencies so you're not that surprised?
I'd say the latter, because the pitcher's got to pitch to his strengths regardless. The hitter's got to hit to his strength. So you're aware of it, but you have to just hunt for what you can handle.
Here's Nolan Arenado.
He's been tearing it up at the plate recently, working on a 5-game hitting streak.
Just missed. Right through there for a strike. Ground ball right side, and he can't come up with it. And it's in time. It wasn't the smoothest play you'll see today, but they still get the out.
Batting 6, the designated hitter,
Jordan Walker next up for the Cardinals. Just 1 hit and 10 at-bats so far in this series.
This lineup's going to have to find a way to make him work a little harder out there on the mound. I mean, he is just mowing them down. He's settling in. You got to make him uncomfortable. Maybe step out of the box, call timeout, do whatever it takes.
Next offering is in for a strike.
Well, he left that changeup up. Got away with one there, and he'll take it, but doesn't want to make that mistake again.
Hit hard on the ground to short. Tosses to first, and it's a 1-2-3 inning. Nothing doing there for St. Louis. They're down 1-0. We head to the bottom of the second. Here's Jesse Winker.
Designated hitter, Jesse Winker.
Okay, you asked for it. About to go no string ab on him. I'm from that bully where bullies were quick to spaz on him. That's me, homie, fatigues on him.
On the ground right side. Gorman throws on to first. And Winker is set down.
Batting 7, the catcher, Francisco Alvarez.
And next for the Mets, Francisco Alvarez. Alvarez came up with 4 hits in his last game. There's the strike.
0-1.
And that's through there for a strike. Puts it in the air out towards left center. Donovan sizes this one up, and there's 2 down.
That's just a really nice catch on the run right there. He saved extra bases for sure. If the pitcher's his friend, he'll give him a second to catch his breath before he's ready to deal the next pitch.
And now the center fielder, Jose Siri. Line drive, hauls it in to end the inning. And the Mets go down 1-2-3. They lead it 1-0. Back at the ballpark, and in this series, it has been lights out on the mound as we take a check of the numbers. Manaea back to work. Ball 1, no strikes. And a strike in there.
1-1.
This one popped up. Vientos puts it away for the out. Here's the shortstop at the plate, Michael Hellman. Swinging a foul back. That's out of play. Swing and a miss. Chased it out of the zone.
You know, Bruce, every team has a hitters meeting pregame, but this lineup seems way too anxious, aggressive. You wonder what they talked about.
Ground ball to the right side, and it goes just foul. Out to short, Lindor. And that quickly, 2 away.
Batting ninth, the center fielder, number 11.
And stepping in for the Cardinals, Victor Scott. And a breaking ball drops in for a strike. That misses the zone, and now it's even 1-1. Two out, space is empty.
I wouldn't throw him another breaking ball. Try to go again with the fastball, slightly elevated. He just is having a hard time catching up.
Swings through that, and it's a strikeout. And a nice inning of work there as he sets him down 1-2-3. And down in order go the Cardinals. Still behind by a count of 1-0. And we're back. And now Luis Angel Acuna.
Luis Angel Acuna.
In the air, left field, down the line. Nobody can get there, and it's a foul ball. On the ground, right side. Slings to first. One gone, bottom of the third inning.
Next for the Mets, the shortstop, Francisco Lindor.
So the lineup flips over. Stepping in is the switch hitting shortstop, Francisco Lindor. Grounded out his first time. Ball one there.
1-0.
Whacked out to center field. That's well struck. That's bad. And it's off the batter's eye. He hammers one out to center. His 7th home run of the season. It's 2-0. Chris, he's homered in back-to-back games now.
Yep, seeing the ball well, and he's got his timing locked in. He's looking pretty dangerous at the dish right now. Just an excellent swing all the way around, and it had that sound coming off the bat that gets everyone's attention. Got a pitch to drive, short to the baseball, squared it up, and the backspin carried it out of here.
Soto, the next to hit, takes ball one. One out, base is empty, and a run in here in the last half of the third. Inside, just missed.
When you get ahead in the count, there's no doubt that the success rate goes up, and that's what he's been doing. It's made a big impact for him in recent games.
Hard grounder into the outfield for a knock. So they get a man aboard with a one-out single.
Just so sound in his mechanics. Gets against a firm front side, and the hands just continue to carry through the middle of the field.
And now it's the polar bear, Pete Alonso. He popped out his first time. Up and in, and that is ball one.
Ball, no strike.
Man at first, one away. Swing and a miss, and he got him to chase.
1 ball, 1 strike.
There's a swing and a drive. That one is gone. And the polar bear leaves the yard. It's their second home run of the inning, and they add to the lead. It's 4-0. That's their third home run of the game.
They're having a lot of fun at the plate in this one. They've got the long ball working for them on autopilot. Well, he put a really nice swing on that one, and everything was on time, took a direct path to the ball, excellent extension, and just drove it out of here. Nothing better than when the ball jumps off your bat like that.
Here's Brandon Nimmo. First pitch doesn't find the zone. On the ground to short. Hellman throws to first in time.
Now batting, the third baseman, Mark Vientos.
And stepping in for New York, Mark Vientos. Line to second, snagged on the bounce, and they get the out.
That was a great job of doing the math. He had the perfect angle, diving stop, completes the play, and that ends the inning.
Welcome back. Let's check out what's been happening of late. Really been struggling. There's a strike at the knees.
Well, he's been incredibly efficient in this one. First pitch strike percentage over 70%. That's well above league average, and that's what's allowed him to pitch well up until this point.
That's out to center field. Siri hauls it in for the out.
The left fielder, number 33, Brendan.
Now up for St. Louis,
Donovan.
Brendan Donovan. First time up was a pop out. Hit on the ground to the right side, and he takes it himself for the out.
Up next for the Cardinals, the first baseman, Wilson
Contreras now up to the plate. Grounded out his first time up. And that is out of play. Can't make contact with the sweeper.
This guy's not wasting any pitches. Hitters got to get into swing mode. This is a good time to expand the zone. Throw something maybe down in the dirt.
In the air, right field. Soto makes the grab, and that is that. Back here at Citi Field. Now it's the DH, Jesse Winker.
Winker.
And first offering is fouled off.
Well, these Mets doing a good job of putting the ball into play, and that makes things more challenging on the defensive side. And here's a stat for you, Boone. They're making contact with more than 85% of the pitches that they're swinging at. It's pretty special stuff. Not so good if you're out there on the mound.
And that one hammered way back there. And it hops over the wall for an automatic double. That ups his hitting streak to lucky number 13.
The Baker's dozen, Boog, and it doesn't seem like a huge number, but anytime you get to the point where you hit in every game for almost 2 weeks straight, that's a sign of what kind of rhythm you're in.
Alvarez in the box now. No balls and a strike.
No balls, 1 strike.
Man at second. Gets a swing and a miss with the sweeper.
Well, he looks fresh
No
out there.
ball.
Just
2 strikes.
needs to get a little more confidence and remember how good he's been in the past.
Drilled out towards left center field. That's going back. Back some more. It has the distance. Gone. A 2-run homer. Home run number 5 on the season. And they throw a pair on the board. It's 6-0.
He's bringing the thunder in a rainstorm. How in the world did he manage to hit that pitch out? No matter how this outing ends, that pitch is going to haunt him for a while. An 0-2 mistake. That's supposed to be a pitch out of the zone. He left it in the spot that the hitter could do some damage with, and that's exactly what he did.
Here comes the manager out of the Cardinals dugout, and he'll make a move to the pen. Erick Fedde out of the game, and this is one he'd like to forget. Back with a new arm after this. A new arm into the game, the righty, Michael McGreevy.
And with
Now
the big deficit on the scoreboard, he almost has to just put that out of his mind. Every outing matters for relievers and their numbers, but I think it's tough to get up for this type of appearance the same way you would for one in a close game.
Next to hit, Jose Siri. Swing at a ball lifted to center field. Scott makes the grab, 1 down.
The batter, number 2, second baseman, Luis Angel.
So up next for New York, Luis Angel Acuna. Grounded out his first time up. Out to short, Hellman. 2 away. Out.
Up next for the Mets, the shortstop, Francisco.
Back to the top of the lineup. Here's the Mets
Lindor.
leadoff man, Francisco Lindor. He's already homered here in this one. This one lifted in the air, left field. Donovan makes the catch, inning over. Mets add 2 runs on this blast. It's now a 6-0 ball game. You're watching Major League Baseball on The Show. Welcome back. Let's take a look at how the series has played out so far. And first offering is fouled off.
You know, these Cardinals, they're not going to be happy with the at-bats they've been having so far. We're in the back half of the game, and they're still searching for a base runner. He's been great out there on the mound, no doubt, but it's also been a disappointing performance at the plate to this point. And as we get deeper, it's not going to get any easier. These at-bats are going to feel more and more desperate every out the rest of the way.
Swings through that one. It's a strikeout.
Oh, there's a 3-pitch strikeout. He can do whatever he wants with the baseball right now.
batting, third baseman,
Here's Nolan Arenado. 0 for 1 so
Arenado.
far. Check swing on the first pitch. Appeal down to first. And he went around. That's ruled a swing. Manaea winds and deals. Right through there for a strike. The Redbirds with a lot of ground to make up. And we're at the top of the 5th. Strike 3, and that's 2 in a row.
Just a mid-90s challenge fastball right there. Not much to it.
Now
And I'm sure he'd
the
love
designated
another
hitter,
swing at it because
Jordan
it was in a very hittable
Walker.
location. Those are the swings where you can sometimes start to question yourself as a hitter and say, how did I miss that? But you know what happens.
Walker batting for the 2nd time, and that's strike 1.
Hey, 7 straight strikes to start the frame. He's got a chance at an immaculate inning.
Oh, 2 now. And
That's
that
a
one
ball.
cutting but missing down low. Swings and misses. And he strikes out the side for the second time today.
Impeccable command in that one. 3 batters, 3 strikeouts. That's electric stuff out there on the mound.
Back here at the ballpark, let's check out the latest news from around the league.
Juan Soto.
Fastball for a strike. McGreevy, the tall righty, he features a 4-seam fastball, a slider, a curve, and he works in a changeup. Hard grounder into the outfield for a knock. And the leadoff man aboard.
I'd say a mistake pitch in an 0-2 count. Too good of a pitch
Now
to hit right there. You have to expand the zone. Keep that leadoff man off first base.
Pete Alonso getting ready to hit. He's already homered in this game. And that's in there at the knees.
That's a great take right there. Even though it's a strike, with the situation, runner on first base, you want to keep the ball off the ground. And you swing at that pitch, most likely you roll into a double play.
Finds its way through, base hit. And out to aboard. Well, Singy, he is locked in there.
Well, he's really slowed the game down, and it's like he's moving in full speed, and everybody is a step or two behind. The way that he squared up that baseball tells me that he is seeing it like a beach ball.
Next is the cleanup hitter for the Mets, Brandon Nimmo. On the ground to first, and it finds its way through for a hit. They won't test it here. Bases loaded, no outs.
That's now 3 hits in a row for the offense. He kind of rolled over on this pitch a little bit, but he got enough behind it to shoot it through for a knock, and you'll take that anytime you can get him to find a hole.
So up next, Mark Vientos, both 2 in this one. And that's downstairs. Ball 1.
Well, he's just given up 3 straight hits, and now behind in this count to this hitter. Might be a good time for somebody to call a timeout. Maybe the pitching coach go out there and talk to him just a little bit.
Swung on, belted. Dives, but it falls. And now it looks like extra bases. 1 runs in. Alonso is waved home. Runner from second crosses the plate. It's 8-0. Tried to stop, but he's tagged out heading back to second. And now the Mets DH, Jesse Winker, 1 for 2. That one lifted to left. Donovan makes the catch for the out. 2 down.
The catcher, number 4, Francisco Alvarez.
Francisco Alvarez up now for the Mets. Lifted to left center, way back there, and that is gone. Another homer. His second home run of the game. It's 10-0. And their 5th home run of the game.
Some things in this sport are contagious, Boog, and right now for this team, clearly it's the long ball. With a low 90s fastball, you have to live on the edges and hit your spots. If you don't, you'll get hit hard. Really good swing there, patient, waited for it. It was like BP all over again.
Here comes a manager out of the Cardinals dugout, and he'll make a move to the pen. Michael McGreevy is done. We'll be back in a minute with a new arm on the mound.
Pitching
New
for
pitcher
the
for the Cardinals, Tank Hence.
Number 30.
He pitched yesterday, and we'll see him once again.
Hence.
Here's the center fielder, Jose Siri. Fly ball to right. Nootbaar moves under it, and that will end the inning. So it's 4 runs for him, 5 hits, no errors, no one left. 5 innings complete. It's the Mets 10 and the Cardinals nothing. Back here in a blowout, which gives us a chance to talk about just about anything.
Bro, don't get me fired.
All right, Singy, we've been in all the press boxes. You got best press box food.
I'd say press box food because of the ice cream. We have to go Philadelphia. Yeah.
Shout out to our guy Frank.
Yes. New York for me is pretty good. Yankees?
Yeah, solid.
Yeah.
Check swing called strike. And that is strike 1.
As far as ballpark food, one of my favorite places is San Francisco.
Garlic fries, yo.
Garlic fries, and you got the lobster roll out there in the outfield if you want to make the walk all the way out there.
It's great, though, broadcasting a game with that zoo breath where you could just, I mean, absolutely levitate some people with your breath.
Shortstop,
So digging in, Michael Hellman grounded out his first time.
But we got the crab fries in Philadelphia, is that right?
Yep, and then
it's been a long time for me.
Boog's Barbecue at Oriole Park.
I knew you'd go there.
That's right.
Yeah. Any way you can work in your name, huh?
That's right. And it's even up. And that one fouled off. Stays alive. The Cardinals yet to pick up a hit here. Another one. That's 5 straight strikeouts.
Well, right now he's in cruise control, autopilot, just dominating these hitters. I mean, it doesn't look like it's a fun at bat. And all of a sudden, you become in awe of this guy on the mound. Somebody's got to break this thing up. That's 5 straight strikeouts. You got to put a ball in play.
He swings and fouls one off. Pop foul out of play off to the right. Two down, nobody on. To the right side, Acuna gets it to first. St. Louis goes down in order. So he's perfect through 6. It's the Mets 10 and the Cardinals nothing. And welcome back to the ballpark. John Shambi with Chris Singleton in the booth, and leading off the bottom of the 6th, Luis Angel Acuna. Popped up, and that'll fall for a base hit, and that turns the lineup over.
The first move felt like a bit of a guess. You have to be right in those spots or things can get away from you awfully quickly.
Now up to him, Francisco Lindor.
Runner.
Here's the pitch. Runner goes. That one ripped. And it one-hops the wall. Throws to second.
Went up there looking to be aggressive and got something he could handle. A well-deserved double on a great swing. Got everything going on time. He stayed balanced and he squared it up about as well as you could possibly ask.
Here's Juan Soto. 3 for 3, 2 singles and a homer. Line drive caught.
That swing right there tells me he's seeing the ball pretty well. I know it didn't produce a hit, but he made solid contact, and that's all you're looking to do anytime you're at the plate.
Pete Alonso digs in now. He has, as they like to say,
let me guess, Boog, light tower power?
That's right. Swing and a high fly ball, well struck. That's back, and it's gone. He flexes his power with that swing. He's done it again. His second homer of the game, and they add to their lead. It's 13-0.
There was a sinker up in the zone. It looked like it came out of the pitcher's hand a little bit too early. Doesn't have the velocity that good four-seam fastball does. And at the plate, he didn't miss it.
Manager out of the dugout, and he's going to make a change. Tank Hence departs, and as he heads for the dugout, we'll take a quick break. New arm on the mound when we get back. New pitcher on now, Matthew Liberatore.
I think it's got to be a little tough coming in out of the pen when your guys are trailing so big on the scoreboard. Just doesn't have the same intensity to it, but he's got to find a way because these batters count the same for his stats, obviously, regardless of the score.
So now it's the four-hole hitter, Brandon Nimmo. Swinging a foul straight back. Still only one out here in the inning. On the ground. And that one handled. Safe at first as they can't make the play. Man at first, and next for the Mets, Mark Vientos. Here's the pitch, runner on the go. There's a ball. Throw to second, tag, and they got him.
Wow, he just showed right there why he's known for having one of the best arms, one of the elite arms in the league. Man, that runner had a big lead at first base. You usually don't get thrown out, but this guy's such a great thrower. That's pretty amazing right there.
Swing and a ground ball, and that chance handled. Fires over to first, and that ends the inning. A Pete Alonso blast for the Mets. We're through 6 full. You're watching Major League Baseball exclusively on the show. Back here in Queens, new inning getting started. Now here is Lars Nootbaar. Manaea back to work. Pitch misses. 1-0. Right through there for a strike.
In this situation, you expect the batters to be a little more patient, possibly take until they get a strike. With that, you don't want to miss your opportunity to get ahead early in the count. He didn't right there.
Next offering is in for a strike. Fouled off, and they'll do it again. That's to third, and it gets through for a hit. Their first of the ball game.
Well, he's been absolutely lights out on the mound all game, and I really thought he might pull off some history here, Boog.
He had that look, no doubt. Perfect games are so tough, though. It's one of the rarest feats in sports for a reason. Brendan. Donovan next up for the Cardinals. Top of the zone for a called strike.
Usually when a pitcher's had a dominant outing, he has filled up the strike zone and he's gotten ahead in the count with first pitch strikes. Well, that's exactly what this guy has done in this one. Over 70% first pitch strikes.
Lead runner to second, so 2 on and nobody out. And up to hit is Wilson Contreras. Swinging a foul out of play. And it's fouled away. No outs, runners at first and second. He swings and hits a fly ball, center field. Long run, nice grab. One away.
Well, those can be pretty fun as an outfielder. Got to put it into his highest gear and go a long way to track that one down. Nothing better than that. You feel like a wide receiver playing football.
Here's the second baseman, Nolan Gorman.
Second baseman, Nolan Gorman.
That one ripped right center field. Back there. And that one is going to go. And they throw 3 on the board. It's 13-3.
Boog, I wasn't sure he hit that one as hard as he needed to get it out of here, but it had just enough behind it for the homer. What an attempt at the wall, though. He really gave a terrific effort to try and bring that one back.
Now a chance for Nolan Arenado. Right through there for a strike.
0-1.
Yeah, that's fouled off. Already 3 runs across in the frame here in the top half of inning number 7. And Nato is set down on strikes. Jordan Walker next up for the Cardinals.
Jordan Walker.
That's in for a strike. That's a ball. Went with the sweeper.
Just missed with that backdoor breaking ball. If he gets a swing and miss or called strike, 0-2 count. Instead, it's 1-1. Look for him to go back to that pitch later in this at bat.
Good job to fight that one off. Battling here as he fouls it away. Spoils a 2-strike pitch, and he'll see another. Two outs. And that is downstairs. 2-2.
Really good take, especially with 2 strikes.
Ninth pitch of the at-bat due next. Foul ball, another 2-2 upcoming. Out to short. Lays out, but he can't squeeze it. But there's no play. That's an infield single.
But when you see that many pitches in an at-bat, your chances of succeeding go up. And right there, we see the result.
And up next for St. Louis, Pedro Pajes. First pitch, just misses.
1-0.
And a foul ball. Walker leads off first with 2 down to the inning. Gets a piece there. We'll do it again. On the ground to the left. Lindor. Third out. That ends the frame. But the biggest swing of the inning comes right here, a 3-run homer. 7th inning stretch time. You're dialed into the show. Welcome back as we take a look at how today's starting pitchers have fared so far.
Jesse Winker.
And the first offering a fastball for a strike.
Looks like he sacrificed to pitch right down the middle for tracking and timing. Some good hitters will do that.
That misses the zone, and 1-1. In the air, left side. Drops into the glove. 1 up, 1 down.
The catcher, number 4, Francisco Alvarez.
Here's the catcher for the Mets, Francisco Alvarez. He's got a couple homers already, so can he possibly do it again?
Come on, man. Of course he can. Those 2 he hit were legit, and he looks pretty locked in right now if he did.
First offering, and it just misses. Base is empty, 1 away. Here at the bottom of the 7th. And that one is downstairs. 2-0. Swing and a ground ball, and that one gets through into center field. So a man aboard now with 1 away.
Now batting, center fielder
Jose Siri, the next to hit. 0 for 3 in this one. On the ground, 2 ball. 1 at second. Double play. And that'll do it for the inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and no one left. We look ahead to inning number 8. The Mets lead this one 13-3.
Now pitching for the
Welcome
Mets.
back, and a new arm on the mound to start the 8th. A.J. Minter.
And he's got a nice lead to work with, so he should come in throwing strikes, attacking these hitters.
Now it's the shortstop, Michael Hellman. The pitch. That's a strike, and it's 0-1. Minter, in his 8th season, he features a 4-seam fastball, a cutter, and he works in a changeup. Fights that one away, and the count remains 0-2. Got him swinging for the strikeout. Couldn't catch up to the heater. Victor Scott next up for the Cardinals.
If there's nobody on in front of him, you know, a single for him many times is a double. This guy is off to the races, ready to steal a bag when he's on first base.
And there's a foul ball. One down, base is empty. That one finds the zone, and the count is 0-2. Swing and a miss, struck him out. Coming out of the bullpen and throwing BBs.
Chance to strike out the side now. You talk about the benefits, the advantages of relievers who can come in and get the swing and miss, whether it's inherited runners or maybe a little jam that they get into themselves. Knowing that they can miss the bat, tell you what, that's huge and can change the ball game.
Two down, nobody on. Gets a piece, and it stays 0-2. This one in the air. Vientos. He makes the grab, and that's the 3rd out. This one pretty well decided at this point. Home half of inning number 8 straight ahead. Mets are out on top, 13-3. Ready for the bottom of the 8th, and stepping in for New York, Luis Angel Acuna. That one misses. Ball 1. Base hit. Man aboard on the leadoff single. Wide throw, and it gets away. No advance, though. Ball didn't get too far away.
Now batting, shortstop, Francisco
Lindor comes up to the plate. Here comes the pitch. Runner breaks for second. Strike in there. Throw, save. That's a stolen base.
You know, having a good lead is so key when you're stealing bases, even if you've got great speed. But if you don't have great speed, but can get an extended lead and a good jump, you can steal bases on a catcher who can really throw it. That's a nice job right there.
That one ripped. And out of here. Another homer. That's his 4th home run of the series. And they add a pair. It's 15-3. Singy, the ball is jumping off his bat.
Yes, it is. Tons of loud contact. Man, it's been impressive. That's exactly the pitch he was looking for. Crushes it and hits it out of the ballpark.
Juan Soto now. In the air, left field, down the line. And that is foul. Nobody out with a pair of runs across in the frame. Here, the bottom half of the 8th inning. Right through there for a strike.
The real threats are coming up. Already given up a home run in this inning. He's going to really have to bear down.
Hard ground ball, base knock.
Now batting, first baseman, Pete.
So next, Pete Alonso. Maybe a 2-ball, 5, 4, 3, and they turn the double play.
They made that double play look so easy, but it was far from routine. That's the one thing about big leaguers. They make tough plays look simple.
So here's the cleanup hitter, Brandon Nimmo. That one missed. Up the middle, Hellman. And that is the inning. Another look at the long ball from Francisco Lindor. Last chance coming up here for the Cards.
Now pitching for
We're back. It's the top of the 9th, and there's a new pitcher on the mound, Ryan Stanek.
Compared to some days, this is a pretty low leverage appearance for him, so he should be fairly free and easy out there. Still have to keep yourself sharp and attack the strike zone.
Now at the plate, Brendan Donovan. 1 for 3.
Brendan Donovan.
That one down the line, and foul ball. Drilled out towards left center field. That's well struck. He won't get there. That should be extra bases. And that's a leadoff double.
Up next for the Cardinals.
So man aboard. And here's the first baseman, Wilson Contreras. 0 for 3 with 2 flyouts and a ground out. And a pop-up right side, foul territory. Alonso brings it in, and there's one down.
Now back, second baseman,
Nolan Gorman next up for the Cardinals. 0-1.
That split is a pretty nasty pitch. Explodes out of the hand. Looks like a fastball, and the bottom just falls out of it.
And ball 1.
Definitely a swing and miss slider down and in. He finished that really well. Just couldn't get him to offer at it.
Swing and a miss, and that's strike 2.
From a pitcher's perspective, that's a beautiful splitter right there. As a hitter, you don't like it, but he's commanded his fastball, and out of that same tunnel, that splitter comes, and the bottom just falls out of it. He had him out in front, which isn't easy to do against a hitter like this, known for using the entire field. just couldn't sit back long enough on that one.
Arenado stands in now and watches strike one.
One strike.
Swings through that one for strike two.
No ball. Two strikes.
The Cards down to their final strike. And a swing and a miss, and that is the ball game.
Nice sweep in this series, and you continue playing at home. Everything feels good right now. This is the type of run that you can put together a nice, long winning streak. We'll see if they're able to do it in the next game.
15-3 is how it ends. For Chris Singleton and our entire outstanding crew here at MLB The Show, I'm John Shambi saying so long.